What's the weirdest song you have on your playlist? Or songs, you know what I mean? You got some weird songs on there? Get this. Belinda Carlisle, Heaven is a Place on Earth. Have you heard this song? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. That sucks. I wish we could play the real song. Get this one, dude. Highway to the Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins. Gonna take you right into the danger zone. Right, mate? Tom Cruise at his very best. Check this out, guys. I've seen Insane Clown Posse, the band, twice. Isn't that rad? This good friend of mine loved the shit out of him, and we saw him in Portland, and I saw him in Seattle. A couple beers, hanging out with the Juggalos. Oh yeah, it was a blast. We even painted our faces for the show in Seattle. We had a great time. Oh, memories. Also on my playlist, Van Halen Panama. Oh, and Motley Crue, Jumpstart Your Heart. Does anybody even know any of these songs or these bands I'm talking about? Leave it in the comments. Anyway, so the other night, in the middle of the night, it's probably 2 in the morning. Sometimes I do the dishes in the middle of the night, so I was gonna do the dishes, and I went out and smoked a joint, and then I came in and I picked out a movie to watch while I was doing these dishes. I settled on Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 remake, and I got comfortable and got into the suds and started to wash the dishes. Let's cue the campfire for this. I like to have on rubber gloves when I'm washing the dishes, and it always reminds me of a scene out of Fight Club when Brad Pitt's making the soap and he's smoking weed and he's got these big rubber gloves on. I'm that when I'm doing this, you know? I'm Tyler Durden, you know what I mean? For anybody that doesn't know, the Dawn of the Dead remake, 2004, is one of the most beautiful remakes you could... it is fast zombies. It's... The first 5 minutes of this movie are so suspenseful and... you need to watch this movie. All right, people, I'm going to break it down for you right now. You know what? No more fucking around. If you don't want to be absolutely terrified, don't go smoke a joint and in the middle of the night wash dishes and fucking watch Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 remake. Picture your buddy, Huxley, standing in the kitchen. I'm terrified, dude. Every little creak and crack. The house is dark. I only have one light on. It's right above the sink. On top of that, I forgot to mention that I drink coffee in the middle of the night, and usually I'll drink a cup of coffee while I'm doing these dishes. I need to come clean, because I'm not going to lie to this audience. I couldn't finish those dishes. I had to shut off Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 remake. Can you believe that shit? I had to shut it off. I had to go outside with a flashlight, and I had to do a perimeter check. It's 3 in the morning. I'm doing a perimeter check on the building to make sure there's no fucking zombies out here. And also, I might add, what am I gonna do if I see a zombie? Get my brains eaten out? I can't fight off a zombie. I know what you're thinking. Huxley, you can fight off a zombie. I'm not sure I can. So anyway, the premises was zombie-free. I felt like a security guard out there, flashlight and everything. Kicked some skateboarders out, felt bad about that. But if you're gonna play the role of a security guard, the first order of business is you gotta kick out skateboarders. Am I right? I am happy to report that the grounds were zombie-free. I came back in the house, I put on something a little lighter, and I finished those dishes. I know what you're asking. What'd you put on, Huxley? I put on Castaway with Tom Hanks. I spent the rest of that time washing those dishes on a deserted island with a volleyball. I'm just messing with you. Castaway's like over 3 hours long, I think. Can you imagine how clean those dishes would be if I washed them for 3 hours straight? Really clean. All right. Get this memory that keeps popping up into my head. I worked at this place for a while. We'll call it Throne Brown Boxes, because that's what I would do during the shift. There's like 300 people on a shift, big warehouse. So when I first started there, I was in the restroom, which is funny. There's one restroom in the whole place, you know, huge warehouse. And there was a note taped on the mirror that said, "Please don't wash your feet in the sink." First time I saw it, I started laughing. I go, who's washing their feet in the sink? So these little taped up paper signs become a permanent fixture. Kind of gets my little squirrel sense going, thinking, this is a real problem? Like, these signs aren't coming down. Who the fuck's washing their feet in the sink? The signs get weathered, and then they get more elaborate. Stop washing your feet in the sink. It's unsanitary. And then they become laminated signs. One pleasant spring night, I came into work, walked into the bathroom, and my buddy Nas was up on the sink washing his feet. I spit my gum out. I go, holy shit, dude, you're the one washing your feet in here? Let me tell you about Nas. Like, one of the friendliest people I've ever met. Always laughing. You're always included. He's just super warm. He's about, I think he was probably like 23 or 24. Just a fucking great dude. Definitely one of my favorite people at that place, if I haven't made that clear. He also, his dad worked over in the other warehouse, same company, but he said his dad had to quit because they packaged dildos over there. Isn't that bonkers? I thought he was kidding when he told me that thing about his dad, but no, it was the truth. So he's sitting up on the sink, and just like he normally is, he just kind of laughed and just said, Huxley, I'm Muslim. All right, here we go. The Quran says, quote, "For God loves those who turn to him constantly and loves those who keep themselves pure and clean." Okay, here it is. "O believers, when you rise up for prayer, wash your faces and your hands up to the elbows. Wipe your heads and wash your feet up to the ankles." Okay, so half the people that worked there, half the shift every day was Muslim. Put in a foot washing station, you know? So after a lot of hemming and hawing, months, they finally put in 2 foot washing stations, one female and one male. Those foot stations always had a line. It's like, yo, this is probably the richest company in the world, and goddamn, you're cheap. Not to talk shit or anything, but they'd also put those big barrels out around the holidays so the employees could donate food to the less fortunate. They're probably the richest company in the world. Like, that's embarrassing, in my humble opinion. The barrels are always an option, or, you could think of this, too. The CEO could just donate his pay for 1 month and probably feed the entire world's hungry. But, we'll do it the other way. All right, let's leave this on a light note. Besides Nas, there was so many fucking really cool people that worked there. It was just, it's great to know that there's so many cool people out there, right? There's where we'll leave it. All right, mates. I'm gonna leave you with okay, I can't stop with the terrible butchering of that accent. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I've been listening to, another song that's on my playlist is REM, "It's the End of the World as We Know It." I've never really been a fan of REM, and so I don't know what's happening, but I'm starting to really appreciate a lot of their music. I don't know if anyone else notices, but we're doomed. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.